Before we start off today's video, I want to say that I don't have a degree in film. I took one class, and so most, if not all, of my thoughts are speculation, but I hope you enjoy them anyway. There's a lot to be said for the storytelling of Olan Rogers, a YouTuber who's been here since before YouTube was YouTube. Most people know him through his stories or his new TBS series, Final Space. He's a little less well known for his passion projects, The Last Scene, New Prime, and Pop Rocket. These, though, are where I think Olan shines because it gives him a voice to share his stories with something other than just his voice. I've always wondered what made these videos stand out to me, and my latest theory is what I want to talk to you about today. Contrast. See what I did there? Olan does this too. Throughout all three of these, the image is black and white or it's desaturated. In The Last Scene, the characters live in a white void, so they stand out more against the plainness of the background. This is as much contrast as you can get in a picture. From here on out, color slowly comes back into the frame. New Prime is the story of Ferris, a hardened bounty hunter who's looking for the Phantom in a forest that looks more dead than alive. And Pop Rocket is set in a Blade Runner-esque world heavily dominated by noir lighting and framing. The color in Pop Rocket is almost always muted, and this deliberate lack of color that you see in Olan's videos also contribute to his world building, making a world that feels barren and dead, so that when Olan breaks this rule, everything that does really stands out. Another constant of Olan's work is the writing. If you were to melt down each script, you might see something that looks like water and oil, a split between humor and heart, and the humor always floats to the top. Olan Rogers is the king of quotable comedy.
What? You just killed that poor clown! That I did, Dutch! You need to be revving it down! Now back to the trap!
The heart of his scripts, while admittedly a little weaker, are driven home by his stellar acting in the score. He builds quippy, laughable characters and slowly reveals their depth through the events of the story and dialogue. In the end, you're not just rooting for the characters because they're the protagonists and you're supposed to. You're rooting for them because you love them. In a way, they feel much more human than the cookie-cutter characters built by just expanding stereotypes until they fit the mold of an arc. When Olan Rogers makes a character, it's not based on any existing stigma, it's based on real people. Real people don't introduce themselves with a melodramatic monologue and a call to action. We start with the light-hearted exterior and peel back the layers to find true motivations. Lastly, you can see the contrast in the framing of some shots. In some places as homages, almost as a parody to their source, and in others as their own independent story. My favorite frame from any YouTube video is still this one from the climax of New Prime 5. There's something very simple but powerful about the beauty and destruction juxtaposed together in this shot, and it brings with it a kind of existential dualism between life and death. It's a step back, beyond the characters or the plot even, until it's just the world. And I think that makes it more impactful, more applicable than most fiction series on YouTube. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching today's video. I've always been a fan of Olan Rogers' work, so I was psyched to be able to do this video essay. I'm really excited to see where he takes Final Space, coming out soon here, so check that out as well. And if you like this kind of video, please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll try to do a couple more of them. So I guess I'll see you guys in a week or so. I'm kidding, I'm not making another video for a couple months.